do roll.
Well, I don't have my list here, but hold on. I'll start with the people I can see. Tati,
I'm here.
Tori,
Here.
Jim,
Here.
Mary,
Here.
Berta,
Here.
Patsy,
Here.
Byron. Are you there, Byron?
There's here.
I'm here. Byron's here.
I'm here. Everybody else is absent.
Oh, God.
That was quick. Agenda, approve agenda. Anyone have any changes they'd like to make to the agenda?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'm going to move for consent. Correct, Keith?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
Second it. Tati, second it.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? All right.
Can I just add, Mary, can we at all maybe have the agenda, all these documents about 24 hours before? Because I didn't get a chance to look through everything. Is that possible to do that?
Yes,
So
I
with
did because of change in staff.
You had to do it?
I'm
Yeah.
not used, I'm used to not even having to think about that.
Yeah.
And I thought about it too late.
That's all right. It's all good.
But yes, definitely. It should go out at least 2 days before so everybody has an opportunity to review. So I apologize for that, and we'll make sure that that doesn't happen again.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. Any other comments? Moving to approving the minutes from February.
I mean, I think the ayes had it.
Are there any corrections to the minutes?
Yes, sorry. Any corrections to the minutes?
No, they were very well done.
Hearing none. I'll take approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the February minutes.
Second.
Who said that? Who
Patsy.
seconded that?
Patsy.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you. I have to go to my minutes, my agenda. City Council, have we talked to Councilor Fort?
I have not.
Okay.
The minutes from last meeting say that she was going to attend this meeting,
Right.
and she's not.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to bring forward to maybe get another assignment.
Yes, please.
Okay, let's move to the Executive Director report.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to see you all.
All right, Dr. Caesar.
I think we've seen each other while the sun is still shining. We're getting into daylight savings time, so that's exciting. I don't have much of a report today, just two things. One, we are moving forward with the interview process for the community relations analyst, and that's Marquita's position. We're also working on posting Deja's position, so both of those will be filled hopefully within the next couple of months, but we're actually starting to do the interviews for Marquita's position, so y'all don't have to wait long, hopefully.
I know this is an ugly question, but why is everybody leaving? Is the city not paying them enough or what?
You know, attrition happens for a variety of reasons.
I know.
Some people find opportunities, and I'll tell you what, during COVID, there are jobs like crazy out there.
That's true.
So there's some opportunities for folks. And, you know, I would say for some of our younger folk, they want to move up and try some different things. Deja would be happy.
You know, I'm never mad at
She
anybody.
went to,
That so many left you at once.
yeah, just two. Deja moved to Texas, so her family made it.
Oh,
Unrelated to the job, but more about her family. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we're hanging in there. And then secondly, Beerta had asked about the police advisory board and what's happening with that. Probably seen it on the news. We have 2 board members to resign. And really what's happening is growing pains with a new board. You've got a lot of things that need to be worked out in terms of how we operate as a city and then how we work with this new board. This is something unprecedented for us. And so there's that would like to see us have more power or add more power to that board. And that really comes from the General Assembly. So we already know that, I want to say Councilor Melton has already submitted something to the General Assembly, but you know, if they don't approve that or it doesn't come back, then there's really nothing that the city can do legally about that. So that's what we're.
How are you going to fill the vacancies?
City Council will fill the vacancies. So there are already 2 alternates on the board. So those alternates will move into the positions, and then the council will have to select 2 new alternates.
So is the issue, Dr. Caesar, is the issue that they're just not seeing eye to eye on the power or the authority that they have, or do they want more, or is it requiring a lot of work? What is the actual complaint, I guess?
Yes to all of those things that you've mentioned.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's your opinion? Is it reasonable, not reasonable?
Oh, that's really not up for me to say whether it's reasonable or not. It's up to the board members to decide how they're going to operate and work together and then work in partnership with City Council. So I am neutral in the fight. I think my concern is just making sure that we can service them properly and provide them with the resources to get what they need done.
I have a question. What's the update with the African American Affairs Board, or I don't know what they're called, but
there is no change in status. So I will say, I believe a presentation was made at the last council meeting.
yeah.
Just talking about the mission and the vision and what was being proposed. But I haven't heard anything else beyond that.
Okay. Yeah, I heard it was like the 7 o'clock meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's all I have in terms of an update.
Okay. Avery, thanks for joining. How you
Hey
doing?
y'all, sorry about that. Class got out late. Good to be here. See y'all.
I'm glad you're here. All right, Chairman's report. March 8th was International Women's Day. March is Women's History Month. And March 31st is International Transgender Day of Visibility. Yesterday, Trey Roberts, one of our members, was featured in the News and Observer with an article on student loan debt. So if you didn't have an opportunity to see that, please look at it. I sent him a note saying, hooray, hooray for him. This weekend, Gabrielle is getting married, and that's why she's not with us this evening. And I sent a card on behalf of the Human Relations Commission to her and her husband to be.
That's nice.
So we finished Unify Raleigh. Yay. February 20th, we did care packages in Southeast Raleigh. And I just made the biggest one mistake when I was in front of council, that I didn't thank the Interfaith Food Shuttle. I thanked them during our grants review, but I meant to thank them for the work that they did with Demetrius, getting us the packages and the food that they delivered. That was wonderful. I want to thank Berta for going out and soliciting and securing a donation from a bank for us, South State Bank. And also the partnerships that we had with our other boards and commissions, the Fair Housing Hearing Board, the Police Advisory Board, the Hispanic and Immigrant Affairs, the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities, and the Substance Use Advisory Commission. And representatives for each of those organizations was there on that cold Saturday morning. Demetrius has delivered to our partners the support packages that we assembled for unsheltered persons that are in Raleigh. And those were delivered to South Wilmington Street Center, Family Promise of Wake County, excuse me, Oak City Cares, Helen Wright Women's Center, Salvation Army, Havens House Services, Healings Transition, and Interfaith Food Shuttle. And for the packages for unsheltered persons was a total of 1,250, 500 men packages, 500 women, and 250 for children. So everybody, let's take a bow. All right.
Sorry, Mary, can I interject?
Sure.
Summer Road, one of the volunteers also thanked Demetrius. I sent this to Dr. Caesar and I think to you as well. But they wrote us a really nice letter about Demetrius and how organized everything was and how happy everyone was. I think it's probably one of the most rewarding events I've ever done. So thank you for leading the effort, Demetrius. And Dr. Caesar.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
Rachel and Marquita.
Yeah, and Marquita.
Yeah.
Mary,
Mary?
can I add one thing? Sorry, can I just add one more thing?
Sure.
Say thank you all for your leadership and just being active. So often, individuals aren't able to attend, but I thank you all for being active, being an active voice. As I was meeting with community members, they all asked how often we're going to do it. I lost my hair because I just started thinking about all the logistical nightmares to do this event. But everyone is asking how often can we do it. So I just wanted to relay the message, and they all said thank you for your generosity.
Before I go on, I noticed that Commissioner Stormy Port has joined us.
Yeah, I'm on the call. I don't have my video on. I'm driving. I got to get a COVID test for tomorrow. I'm driving now on my way to get to.
Okay. I appreciate you dialing in to listen to our meetings. So, and I look forward to next month when you can join us with your smiling face and report out some interesting things that the City Council is doing. All right. So Tuesday, March 2nd, I went in front of the City Council to get the approval of our work plan for October 2020 to June 2021, and it was approved by City Council. Hooray, hooray for that. In that, a little nervous, have to be honest, a little nervous, but I'll get used to the whole setup. Just my critique from my husband.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
Somebody wanted to say something there. I think Byron.
Oh, Byron, sorry.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I had a quick question in regards to the follow-up of the Unified Raleigh event.
Yes.
Are those groups that were involved from all the different boards and commission, are they all going to kind of debrief on like the things that work well or what we can do better to improve? If we are doing those events in the future? That's just my question. That was it.
That's a good point. We will do that. We haven't scheduled anything, but Demetrius, let's put that on a calendar and get the groups together and do a debrief. Thank you, Byron. So in the, as I was receiving approval for the work plan that was submitted, and actually I also attached that into the email I sent today with the packages of information for this meeting. The City Council also in their approval approved a request or assignment, I don't know what the word is, for us as the Human Relations Commission to do something around Black history education. And I'll go into more detail about that when we go into new business, because it'll be our new business. So this month I reached out to the North Carolina Asian American Together group. I got an email back that they were going to contact me after their board meeting. But I've been, listening to NPR and just keep hearing of the violence against Asian Americans in this country. And I just want to reach out and get knowledge and find out what's going on with that community inside of Raleigh. So I'm trying to make a connection there. I'll still work on that and brief everyone. And I started doing the weekly HRC updates. I hope that's working. If it's too much, just let me know. If it's too little, just let me know. But I think that's helping. I'm getting some reactions from it, and, which is good. All right, so do we have any comments or questions for me before we move forward? All right, thank you. Public comment. Demetrius, do we have anybody for public comment?
No, I have not received any comments.
Okay. All right, let's move to committee reports. And since Gabrielle is doing wedding, Keith, you want to lead us for the grants committee? You're on mute, hon.
So the grants committee met in February, 4 days, actually 5 days, because we had to finish up. We received 41 grant applications. We interviewed everybody except one organization that didn't show up. We had several people from the commission on the committee. Mary was there, Tori, Jim, Patsy, Avery, Gabriella, me. Did I miss anybody?
Sean,
Also,
wasn't Sean with you guys?
Wasn't he representing somebody else?
yeah, there were 3 other people.
Sean.
Maroney, as I recall, who was with Habitat for Humanity.
Sean.
Juanita from
Substance.
Use Advisory Commission, and
Juanita.
from Wake County Human Services. So we had a big group. We interviewed a lot of people. Everybody had 4 or 5 organizations to conduct the interview. And we eventually, we came up with our recommendations. There were a couple of people, a couple of organizations who decided not to award any money. But other than that, we came up with a list, which I think Mary sent out. I have
Yes,
detailed
yes, you did.
is on the shared drive. But I think we achieved consensus. We assigned all the money. It's all gone, and we're recommending that the commission tonight approve our grant allocations, and Mary can take it to the city council next month. So if you has everybody seen the list of grantees, proposed grantees?
Yeah, you have one that doesn't have any money assigned to them. The Chemetric Culture Science and Systems Unity.
Yeah,
It shows 0.
That's the group that didn't show up. They didn't show
Oh.
up for the interview.
Okay.
So we took that as not, they disqualified themselves from receiving any money.
Okay.
So if everybody's seen it, I'd be happy to move approval of these grant recommendations, and so that we forward it to the council.
I second it.
So Mary, is there any discussion?
Any discussion? Hearing none. All right, anybody for approval?
Aye.
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 Any anyone have an issue or against?
Is it possible for you all to just explain what happened next in the process? So now that the money has been, we've approved it, it gets sent to the city council, they approve. So what happens after that, and what's our involvement from that point?
I think I guess Mary will take it to the city council, a meeting in April. And assuming they approve it, it'll become part of the budget, and it'll be approved in June, and they'll notify the organizations that will receive money. And the grants will start at the beginning of the fiscal year, which will be July 1st.
July 1st, yeah.
I have
And
a question, Dr. Caesar, would we be able to increase that budget a little bit, since, this has been the 500, something has been 500 for a long time. Will they give us more money if we ask for it? Just not for us, but more to help the community, or no? Can we ask for more?
So that's a council request. You can always ask for more money.
Okay.
What we've tried to do in the past is look at some of those agency funds and try to spread it in a way where we have a little extra to give to maybe first-time applicants. But that's always something that you all can take to council. And in fact, once this board approves it, or this commission approves it, and you go before council, you have an opportunity at that point to say, we weren't able to fund these 3 organizations and they were requesting this amount. So if council sees fit, they can agree to fund those organizations.
I got another question. At any point, do we check in, so after they receive the funding of the start of the next fiscal year, and they're using the funding for what they presented on, do we ever check with the organizations, or do we do events with the organizations to kind of see that, hey, we kind of know that everything is happening like they said it was, as well as just like collaboration in regards to the events that we put on?
So the money goes to the organization on a quarterly basis, and they are required to send in documentation to the city to show that they are kind of doing what they say what they said they were going to do within the grant.
Right, so they specified how many, most of them, how many people they would serve.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to turn in quarterly reports, Sean.
Right, they have a quarterly report, and we actually received their 4th quarter report with the grant with the application. So the package that those that are of us that reviewed grants, it's just not, it's an application. There's a list of checklist of things that the nonprofit has to provide for us to do our review. And we had planned on doing a site visit or a check-in last year, but we went into COVID. And so we are planning to do a check-in or something. I don't know, I haven't figured out how we'll do it if we're still in COVID, but hopefully at one point we will be able to, you know, go and see the organization's places and do a check-in.
Thank you for answering that. I just know sometimes, even though you're on one committee, you may not necessarily know what's happening on another committee, as well as the work that's being done. So I didn't know it was that much involved in the process, even being on the HRC. So that was one of the reasons why I asked, because just seeing what all went into the Unified Raleigh event, sometimes we just don't know all the work that may be taking place, even on our subcommittees within our board. So thank you.
Yeah, this to sign up to do this, and I'll let the other members of the HRC chime in. To sign up to do the grants reviews is not a joke. I mean, it is a lot of work. You've received 4 packages, and I mean packages. I mean, like I said, there's a checklist of about 25 items that that each applicant has to provide. And there's a review done at the staff level before we are even given the persons that have decided to be on this committee for this year. Before we even get it, it's reviewed at the staff level, then we get it. So there's like a 2-week period for us to be able to review them ourselves before we even set up the meetings with the nonprofits. Those meetings last about 20 minutes each. So you figure 41 at 20 minutes each. And as many members of that committee should be in each of those meetings so that when we go into deliberation, everyone has, they might not have read the, we don't read, each of us don't read 41. We might read 4 or 5 of them. But even if you didn't read the complete package, you get a summary. Everybody gets a summary. And being in the room or being on the Zoom, listening to the conversation, you get a feeling of what that organization is doing. Listening to the reviewer or the interviewer, whoever has read the complete package, being on the phone or in that Zoom, you get an idea what's going on with that organization, so that when we go in deliberations, even if you personally did not read the whole package, you have a good feeling about that organization.
Hey, Gabrielle and I want to thank everybody who served on the committee, and some of them a lot of them are here tonight. And it was a lot of work. We spent 9 to 3, 4 days, you know, during the week. And then we had another evening meeting to finalize everything. So it was a lot of work. And we, you know, I think we had more people on the committee this year than last, which was good.
It was good. And I think, one, it helps get to know each other since we've never been able to have on-site meetings or, you know, it was a good opportunity to spend a lot of time with members of the commission that I don't know that well. So it was also a good opportunity to get to know everyone.
I've met Mary and Tati in person, but that's all. I've met Merta too, so. Other people, I just know you from Zoom.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for working on this. And we should probably maybe send a letter to the outside people thanking them, or at least an email to thank them for serving on the committee.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Gabriella would be here, but she's getting married this week, so she couldn't make it.
All right. Any others on grants committee?
I think did we vote? I don't think we voted yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we haven't approved the recommendation.
We had a
Oh, I
motion.
have Keith made the motion and Berta seconded. Okay. Okay. Looking for approval. Everyone that approves, say aye.
Aye.
Aye by phone.
Aye.
Those that not approve. All right. That has passed. Anything from the Community Relations and Celebrations Committee?
Hi, everyone. So I think it was Byron O'Tory and I met, and we came up with some good ideas for this coming year. So rather than doing a big fancy banquet, we'll have a new budget in June. We were thinking to do something similar to what we did with Demetrius. Don't get scared. We're not going to do something that big, but we're thinking about doing something like fun for the community, in a like a maybe Lions Park or one of those parks. Do like a carnival for the community where we give away prizes, family activities. Outdoor event. So we were thinking, plan something maybe for this coming year, use the budget to do that instead of doing the banquet or Unity, the Unity banquet. So that's just a proposition. We just thought about that, and we thought maybe that might be nicer than just doing a fancy banquet. So I would love everyone's opinion on that and see what y'all think.
I know also one of the things we mentioned too about doing something like this was the idea of possibly having it like set up maybe like a field day so that you're going from a station to station. And the idea behind that was, still being mindful of COVID, even though, restrictions are loosening up, but possibly having it so that the events kind of, it flows so that, people aren't just there the entire whatever time we decide to have the event, but you can come, maybe stay for about 30, 45 minutes, do the activities, and then maybe you could do something else that day or, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we're thinking, I mean, June things are going to change, with the vaccines, and we're not going to do anything before June, but you never know. You're right, Byron. And so, we'd have to evaluate at that point if we can actually do something. But that was one of the ideas we thought would be kind of cool to involve the people that can't go many places or hadn't had the opportunity to, enjoy a vacation for a year and a half now or by then. So yeah, like do it so that even if there is restrictions, we can still move from one station to another. Thank you, Byron. I forgot we did discuss that. What are your
So they sound good. I would say map them out and see what, more concrete of what cost and, what it actually would be, and come back to us. But it looks like you're looking for the an after June thing sometime.
I think so. I mean, because we used up most of our budget this year. Right?
Yeah,
And
no,
so
it
we
would
have
not be.
to- Yeah. And one of the questions we did have, I don't know if either Byron or Tori, I can't remember who he and I, we were thinking there was some extra money in the Human Relations Commission. There was about 45 grand or 60 grand or something like that we had in savings. Dr. Caesar, do you know where that went, or like how does can we use that for the community projects that we're doing?
Yeah, we have a certain amount in reserve from donations from years past. And the way our finance department allocates that to us is they give you a percentage of it each year. So if you put the whole entire amount in your budget, if you don't spend it, you'll lose it. So that they allocate pieces of that. So
no, it wouldn't be the whole thing. So let's say, for example, if we came up with a carnival idea, right, giveaways and stuff like that. So say we use the 14,000 that we want. If we needed another 10,000, would we be able to access that if we needed for this particular project?
we would have to do a request for that well in advance.
Okay.
Now, I know that in this year's budget, some of that was already allocated. And don't quote me because Deja's the financial person, so we'll have to go back and take a look. But again, a percentage goes in each year. So if you guys have an idea of how much you want to spend, then we can go and make that request and have that money moved.
Yeah, we'll come up with a budget for sure and more concrete information. I just, before going forward and started planning everything, we wanted to see what you all had to say. If you like the idea, or do you want to keep the Unity banquet?
No, I like the idea of having something outside, and because everybody wants to get outside.
Yeah.
We're going to want to get outside for the next 2 years.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
I will say this, if you are thinking about using the Parks and Recs facilities, they'll be a great partner to work with. We work with them for the Unity Day, to the giveaway. So if you want to, when the time comes before we start, putting pen and pad, let's reach out to our partners and build a team that will be able to help.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll, to Byron and Tori or whoever's on the committee, we'll meet up again and come up with more dates and, maybe possible budget, what entertainment.
And maybe have a conversation with the Parks and Recs too.
Yeah.
See what they can help
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah. All right. So that's for the celebration. That's what we're thinking.
All right, thank you.
Sure.
Communications Committee? We don't have, we're missing our Mr. Roberts. Okay. Public Safety Committee.
Yeah, Mary, we met at the end of last month. And as we talked about before, we're still reaching out to other branches of city government that have an overlap with our mission, such as the police department, the fire department, and the police department, and the environmental advisory board. As a matter of fact, I was able to attend the environmental advisory board earlier today. And we're looking forward to trying to work with them, partner with them on how their mission overlaps with ours. Another important thing was, you mentioned this on the email that you sent out to update members, the Victor Company, which I had the privilege of visiting their event a couple of weekends ago. They reached out to us and invited us to attend. It was a great event. I don't know if people are familiar with the Victor Company, but they exist to help continue the legacy of firefighters, Black firefighters at the turn of the 19th to the 20th century. For a long time, prior to 1913, all of the firefighters were volunteer firefighters. And this particular group, the Victor Company, was founded by former slaves in 1869. In 1870, they won award at the state fair with a hand engine contest, which I wish I could tell you the details about, but the great thing is that they won. So they named themselves in honor of that. That's the Victor Company. And then by 1913, the city took over and they were able to fund the firefighters. But the good thing that we learned at that event was that the Raleigh City Council is actually working to turn their site, the site of their fire department, into a museum to commemorate their legacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was good. I saw Dr. Caesar there and a lot of other people. So that was a good event. And so we're just working to reach out to those other branches to decide what our priorities will be going forward. And we continue to meet on the 4th Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. And I welcome any of the members of the HRC at large to join us if you have an interest in the issues that we work towards.
Tori, where was the site of the Victor Companies? Where was their location? If the city council makes it a historic site, where would it be?
I think they were originally at Hargett and Blunt Street.
Yeah.
Where we met for the event, which is where they're looking to turn the museum into, was on
East Street.
Was Edenton? Was it Edenton? No, it was New Bern.
East Street.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Was it East Street?
Yeah, I think it was New Bern and East Street.
It was East
Okay.
New Bern and East Street is where it's at. Well, you drive down New Bern and you see the Welcome to Raleigh, y'all.
Right, that's where it is.
Building.
There's an old fire station there.
Yeah.
Fire station, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's great.
That is great.
One of my nephews just got accepted into the fire academy. I guess that's what you call it. I'm excited. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I had a fire at my house last year in September, and we had to move out. And that's the fire station, because I only live 2 blocks from there, on East Street in Jones. And they were at our house in a couple of minutes. So
Cool.
Nice.
All right, thank you for attending and giving us the history. That's wonderful. All right, Diversity Relations Committee.
Well, we really, the only thing we did is we just want to see how we can go about, the question was, how can we go about ensuring that all these boards that are pertaining to the HRC are diverse? And I don't know how to go about that. Dr. Caesar, can you help us with that, or?
You say the boards, do you mean all the boards within the city or?
No, I don't think that much. I think just the
No,
people
yes,
under,
yes.
under HRC.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Mary, what was that?
I had the bigger thought.
Okay, Mary, were you thinking equity and inclusion or which?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can definitely help with that project. I think we started some of that work when we kind of revamped the application process for HRC and also Police Advisory Board and Hispanic and Immigrant Affairs. So that would be a really good project to do. And I think it would have implications for the larger city group of boards and commissions. So that's a good idea.
So how do you get started with something like that? So if, say for example, you sent out a survey and said, hey, we're just, looking at this. Can you tell us how many board members you have? What questions are appropriate to ask on our behalf? Because we can't be meddling in everybody's business, but
yeah.
So I don't know what the parameters are. I think that's the scary part. You don't want to step on anybody's
toes. Yeah, I would start with looking at what our city attorney has. They've done a recent study, so using that secondary data, they might already have the demographics.
Okay.
We might be able to provide some recommendations based upon what they already have. So I think we probably need to ask the question. Before we would send out any type of survey, we need to see what's already out there. Because I would say, since I've been here, it's been 2 years and 3-4 months at this point.
Yeah.
I've seen 3 surveys. So there's probably some data already out there. We just need to get that data and see how we can apply it to what our question is, which is how to make boards more diverse or how to ensure diversity. Some boards aren't diverse, some are very diverse. Like I look at this board, this is very diverse. And it's by design that way.
Yeah.
Boards aren't like that. So we just need to see what the baseline data looks like and then take it from there.
So could we count on you, Dr. Caesar, say as an action item, maybe look at that and tell us if we, the diversity committee, at least can review that and say, brief this committee on to, hey, it looks good. We feel like everything is fine, whatever. Or we can say we need to look at something else. I think that's a great starting point for us as opposed to just kind of throwing a bunch of darts on the board and see what sticks. I think that's a great, we can just start with that.
So I can reach out to the attorney's office and request that data.
Okay.
All right, that sounds good. Bylaws, I don't think we did anything with that this month. In nominating committee, I know we didn't do anything with that unless I'm missing something. Miss Avery, she's on one of those committees. I don't think so. I think we've been on grant.
Scott resigned. Wasn't he on the bylaws?
Yes, Christopher was working on the bylaws, but
but Scott, did he resign? He said he was going to. Did he do it?
I have not gotten anything from Scott officially. I was going to ask Demetrius or Dr. Caesar if they've received anything.
No, I have not received anything.
Okay, I reached out to him. He didn't respond. I'll reach out again.
Because his organization, he's the director of an organization that we granted money to last year and also recommended this year. And the city attorney said that was a conflict, and he said he was going to resign. So I anticipate that he will resign pretty soon.
Yeah. I think just maybe he doesn't know what the process is. So I reached out to him. I'll try again. If not, I'll have Dimitri or Dr. Caesar reach out to him before we would go to council with the. We'll get it resolved before we would bring the grants recommendation to council. All right, that's committee. Old business, the video.
Yeah, so we updated everyone on our committee with this video. So we moved everything from end of February to the end of March. Both Tori and Byron, I think, are you guys both on this? I can't remember which, because we schedule them back to back, but we have March 24th, 25th, and 26th on the boat reserved with the production team with the city so that they can start filming. And we counted in kind of like a rough math that we would need to interview about 50 people to come up with about 10 minutes of video. And so our committee is gonna choose 10 each. We have 5 people. We're gonna choose 10 people each and tell them what the dates are. And I believe Tori already sent the invitation letter, like a draft of the invitation letter. Dr. Caesar looked at it and she thinks it's okay to send, right? Dr. Caesar, we don't need to have it on a letterhead or anything, right?
No, so as long as it's a board and commission, it doesn't have to be on city letterhead. You can just send it.
Okay. And so the next step would be to invite those people, tell them where we're going to be. And we'd love if you all feel like there's somebody that we need to have on, to have involved, please feel free to recommend these people before, because right now it's March 11th, before March 24th. So we're going to go ahead and send this out as soon as, I think we need, the people on the committee need to send this out by the end of tomorrow night, I think, the invitation.
Have you had a second meeting or another meeting with the city, who are the folks that are going to do the video?
No, we, Marquita rescheduled this. We don't need to have it really. They were, I think it's just.
No, I think you need to talk to them again, right?
No, I don't think so. They're scheduled to come the 24th, 25th, and 26th. They already came up with the idea, and I'll make sure that they do show up for sure, but then we don't need to schedule a meeting, I don't think.
Right, so with communications, as long as they're scheduled, they will be there at the time. We can confirm that. I just wanted to point out that typically videos that are done through our comm department are about 2 minutes in length. So you can probably get 20, 30 minutes worth of footage, but it'd be edited down to about 2 minutes. And I don't think we've ever shown a video at council that's longer than that. They would say probably 60 seconds to 90 seconds for the spot. So just to give you an idea of what that'll look like.
Oh yeah, our original idea was to just have a 2-minute video. That's it, because nobody ever paid attention. But then it turned into something else, you know. And
so we're back to the 2-minute video.
No. We're gonna do 10, right, Dr. Caesar, and they're gonna edit it down a version.
Right. Yes.
Oh, we're gonna have 10 minutes of
the real video
information, and then it'll be sliced. It'll be sliced and diced depending on where we use it. So then we'll have it to use it.
And what usually happens is they'll reach out to us and they'll say, "Hey, do you guys want to sit in when we edit?" And that's we'll schedule a time. We'll go meet with Ted or whoever, and just sit there with them. And I've done it. It's lengthy.
Okay.
Just keep this. Just keep going and cut this key. And you know.
Can we have the times of when this is going to happen?
I'll send them to you guys for sure. I sent them already, but we'll send them again.
Thank you.
March 24th, 25th, and 26th, and I'll give you all the details, where, what, when, and where.
Okay.
Ones and all that.
Thank you so much.
I'll resend it, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, Demetrius?
Yeah, just a quick question. 50 people, that's a lot of people to get to come out for I know they only come in like in their time slot, but I think 50 people is a lot of people.
It is.
I mean, even
3 days, and remember we're going to invite 50 people. Not all of them are going to show up.
Mhm.
Those are the people that
Okay,
we're
okay.
inviting, because if you invite any time, even weddings, you invite 100 people respond to RSVPs, 10% won't show up. So, you
Okay.
know, even when they do that. So that was that cushion that we came up with.
Gotcha. Okay.
Anything else?
Are there any
All right.
particular people you're looking for, parameters, you know, demographic, anything like that?
We have, the 5 of us came up with a really good idea, like just like normal citizens that made a difference in their community. And we're going to tell everyone to please keep it under 10 seconds, because it's better for them to choose what they're going to say than us edit it down to 10 seconds. The worst thing is when like you get an interview on TV or something, and then they choose what they're going to put, and they put the dumbest stuff that you said, they put it on there, right? And so we want them to make sure, come prepared, 10 seconds, and then get out. That's it. So but I think we have a pretty good, but if you have someone who is outstanding, you feel would be good to speak on behalf of the city, a citizen that has done good work, please feel free to recommend it to us.
Yeah, I'll send you a name and some
Please,
contact
yeah,
information.
absolutely, yeah.
There's a couple of questions just to get everybody on the same page. Okay. All right, new business. So city council request, and they approved this to move forward as part of the approving our work plan. So it's like it's a part of our work plan now to do, and I'm going to call this Black History Education, because it's the what we're going to do or how we're going to do this has not been determined yet. So Councilman Branch made a request that he wanted to see that we, I don't know, lift up or educate the city of Raleigh residents around Black history, things that people don't know. The mayor made the comment that, you know, children in school aren't taught Black history. So using, and I think where this came from is last year when we weren't in COVID, we did, actually right before we locked down for COVID, we did in the beginning of February, we did a Black History event at the convention center. And we did it around Raleigh, things that had happened in Raleigh. We had a few videos going, and we did it around choirs, and we invited some choirs, Southeast Raleigh High School choir came, Shaw and St. Aug's. It was a wonderful event. We had some people that were selling, you know,
Vendors.
Thank you for the word. We had some vendors. We had food, of course, but it was successful. And city council attended, and Councilman Branch spent most of the time that we had that event at some piece of it. So him and his wife attended, and I think that's where, between that and I guess WIRL has been doing some series on Black history, it was February. And I think that kind of triggered, that things are getting lost and people don't understand the contributions that African Americans have made in the city of Raleigh, and we want to give that some voice. How we do that is we're not there yet at all.
Is
I'm
this for
asking anybody
February?
that's interested in being on this committee, and I'm going to make this a special committee. I'm calling it Black History Education Committee. So anyone that would like to be on this committee, please let me know.
I would.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you,
here, Byron.
Betsy. We had an introduction meeting right before this meeting today with the Raleigh History. I don't have their name in front of me. Oh.
Historic Commission. I think it's Historic Development Commission.
Yes, which was very, very fruitful for just an introduction meeting. They gave a lot of ideas on things we can do. I have some in my head, so I really want to get this committee together, get us to get on the phone and, get on the Zoom and throw out some ideas. But I'm looking for this not to be one event done in February. I want this to be broader. I want it to be something that we educate some children, and we not, if we do it in March, some things in March, we do some things in February. I want us to brainstorm bigger than just one event. So,
Well, I'm an
any
old
questions
Raleigh
about
native,
that?
so I am Raleigh, Black History, sort of. So I would love to serve on that committee.
Oh, great.
I would like to serve as well.
Okay, Byron.
Yeah, I'm also interested.
All right. All right, I'm going to send out, I'll send out a, what's that everybody can give me some few dates and times, and then start a constant meeting.
Doodle.
What is it?
Doodle poll.
Oh yeah, that's it. Thank you, Keith. Thank you everyone for giving me words. I need it sometimes. So now, if anybody doesn't have any other questions, community events. We have the Equity Book Club is doing The Color of Money in 2 parts. One is going to happen on the first part is March 31st, and the second part is April 7th.
Color of Law. Color of Law.
What did I say? Color of Money?
You said Color of Money.
No, can't help it. Okay. And I wrote down Color of Money too. Color of Law, sorry. Did you guys think about actually reaching out to the author to see if he could come maybe April?
We can reach out to him on social media and see if he responds. April is Fair Housing Month, so usually it's hard to get folks who talk about these types of things.
Yeah.
So
after I read the book, he did a workshop, well, not a workshop, but he did an event with a group in New Hampshire that I had the opportunity just to, listen to a Zoom. That's the beauty of Zoom, right? You can be wherever. And he talked, he's very good to speak. So I was like, when I saw that, boy, that would have been wonderful to get him to come even for a half an hour and just talk, because his thought process of how he came about this is worth listening to. And I think people would thoroughly enjoy hearing him.
Well, since it would be on Zoom, it might be easier to get him because he could actually record something maybe.
Oh, that's interesting.
well, we will definitely reach out via social media and see if we'll get a hit. See if he
It's possible.
Yeah.
If he's in it, it's possible. So on the day that Tori went to the Victor event that Saturday, we were also invited to the Friends of Oberlin tour, and I did that tour. It was a walking tour. It's a great little, doesn't take that much time. but it was full of information. I mean, my head was spinning. But this team has been able to, there's a cemetery behind where Interact is, and they got a small grant to clean up that cemetery. And I don't mean clean up so it's pretty, but that you can see the markings, but not to the point that it's disturbed. So it's a good opportunity to another history lesson for the city of Raleigh. So I did that and suggest that is something for people to do, especially with the weather changing. It'll be nice. It was a nice day that day. Councilwoman Fort and Councilwoman Stewart was also at that event. Just so people know. All right, so we're at the end of the time period. Good. Any remarks or anybody want to share any community events that we should all know about?
I have the pleasure of doing one of the walking tours of Dix Park Plaza and Play. So if anybody's interested in some of the stuff that's happening with Dix Park and what they're doing there, I definitely recommend kind of doing that. It was like an hour. One of the city planners came out, gave us a tour, and pretty much just walked piece by piece of what that would look like in regards to them developing the Plaza and Play area there.
Byron, you're going in and out. Can you either send us an email or put it in chat?
But sure, I can definitely shoot you an email with some of the details of my experience.
Yeah, shoot me an email and I'll include it in my next weekly update.
Okay.
All right. Anyone have anything else? And if you don't think of something right now, please send it to me and I'll include it in our updates. So if it's not this week, it's next week, please send them on. All right, if anybody has any other items that they'd like to bring forward? All right, so I will adjourn this meeting at 7:05. Appreciate everybody's time and work on our mission. And everybody take care and we'll see you next month if I not see you before then. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Yeah.